Data cabling video tutorials by Trevor Petr, installing a COAX RG6 compression F style connector.
Hi, my name is Trevor. During this video, I'm going to show you how to terminate F style connector ends onto an RG6 cable. First, we're going to go through the different material required. So we have RG6, that stands for radio grade 6 cable. We have our compression tool. We have our cable and insulation jacket removal tool, and we have our cable cutters. And then over here we have RG6 compression connectors. There's three different styles of F connector. You have traditional, the older style would be the 6-sided crimp style, and then there's the twist-on version. And lately we're using compression. To do this, you need a compression tool. One thing you might notice difference between this connector here and this connector is there's a rubber gasket on this connector. This is for more of a waterproof type connector. So I'm going to take that one out because we're not going to use that. This style connector has a rubber gasket. It's more intended for waterproof applications, so it might be used for a satellite dish on a roof or for an external antenna on the outside of a building where you need waterproof characteristics. I'm going to take that out because we're not going to use it for today's demonstration. So first thing I'm going to do is prep the cable. Now if you take a look at the cable, it's been cleaved nicely. These particular cleavers have a curved edge, so they're more intended for cable. If you use a standard set of side cutters, what ends up happening is it distorts the cable when you cleave it. So we have a nice prepped cable. We're going to take our insulation jacket removing tool, and this is a set that comes from Data Shark. There's Klein, there's Greenlee, there's different brands out there. This particular brand is a two-step. The first step is you're going to be applying the tool to the cable so that approximately 1 millimeter of cable projects beyond the tool on this side. If you have more, that's okay. It just means that you may have to cut the copper conductor at the end of the process. Okay, what I like to do is I like to squeeze it and then just do, you squeeze and wiggle, and that causes the tool to cut into the insulation and seat itself properly. Okay, and then you want to do a complete revolution in one direction and then a complete revolution back in the other direction, and then simply remove the insulation. You want to be careful that there's no center braiding around the center copper wire. The next step, using the same tool, is now you're going to remove the outer jacket. So before we were in this spot, now we're going to move it over to this spot so that the insulation is flush with the tool. One complete revolution, and remove the jacket. The next step is taking the braiding and peeling it back so that it overlaps the rubber jacket. You want to have a nice separation between the braiding and the foil shield that covers the dielectric. Don't remove the foil shield. Okay, once you've done that, do a quick little inspection. Your connector, you're going to notice there's two ends of the connector. You got the threaded end, and the front end rotates, and then the back side is non-threaded. We're going to be taking the back side that's non-threaded and inserting that onto the cable. And what we're trying to do is we're going to push the connector on, and there's a little inside ring that we have to push in between the braiding and the foil shield. So sometimes you have to put a little bit of force on this, and when it's inserted completely, you're going to see the dielectric that is flush with the inside ridge of the connector. Then you're going to grab your compression tool, and this is where you don't want the copper wire sticking out too long, because if it is, it's not going to seat properly into the compression tool. You're going to insert it into the compression tool, and then you're going to compress. Then you can give the connector a tug, and it should be securely fitted. And I'll do the back side. See, in this particular one, I have a little bit of the braiding. It's hard to see, but it was sticking to the center copper wire. You got to watch that that doesn't happen, or otherwise the signal's going to be degraded. Now, it doesn't have to be even. The braiding doesn't have to be even around the rubber insulation. It just has to be peeled back. And there you have it. You have a nicely prepped coax jumper cable.